Hi guys, in the last video we speak about three commands and those are ls and pwd and cd, and we say that ls is lists the directories and everything inside the folder, and pwd is print working directory, it show you where you are now and in which directory you are, and cd to change directory. And today I will speak about also three command mv and rm and cp. So mv, as the short say, it's for moving directories, rm for removing directories, and cp for copy. So if we ls where we are, so I didn't speak quite much as a Linux file system, so I will speak a little bit about it so you can understand the basic line of Linux file system. So the root folder of the Linux system is slash. So slash means the root folder. If we go to the root folder, this is the root folder. So when we ls the root folder, we will see a bunch of directories like bin, boot, div, and extra file and home. So I will speak more about them in the next video. So the more important is here the home directory. So the home directory contains the user. So if I create a new user or I have another user in this system, it will exist inside the home folder. So the users have a home folder, and the root also, the user or the super user in this system also have a home directory. So we can separate between user and the root folder by this hash. So the root have this hash, but the user don't. The user have like $ sign. So if we switch to any user, for example, let's list the user. So if we switch to one, as you see here, we in the user folder. So this is the user and this have $signs. So if we exit to the home, to the root user, as you see, the hash is the sign of root user. So this is a quick explanation about the Linux file system. So let's back to the root home folder. So if I wanted to go to root home folder, we can use cd and this sign, yeah, the curve sign. So if I enter it, I will go to root home folder. So let's list the root home folder and cd to test folder. So let's also list that. So here, as we see, we have 3 file and 1 folder. So this is a JPEG file and text file, and we have a folder here, cp. So the home, we are in the root home folder and inside test folder, and we want to copy 1.txt. This is the folder that we want to copy it. So the next command is where we want to copy it. For example, here we want to copy to the home folder and test file. Inside the test file we have test folder. Inside the test folder we have test2 folder. So if I press enter, this will copy test.txt to inside the test2 file. So let's list again and cd to test2 folder. Yeah, the test one.txt is copied now. One.txt is inside the test folder now. So we copy one.txt. So now let's, for example, move the JPEG folder inside test2. So if we want to move, we will use mv. So mv for move. We will so the first is home, root home folder and test file, and after that time.jpg. So we want to move time.jpg inside test2. So if I am inside the folder, if I wanted to copy folder file to folder inside the main folder, for example, I am in the test folder. The test folder contains test2 file and time.jpg. So the files that I want to move it are all of them inside the test file. So I can remove all these extra comments. So as we see, if I press enter and list the folder, the time.jpg is moved to test2. So if I cd2 test2 and list the content, the time.jpg is now inside the test2 folder. So as I say before, we can just like use the name of the folder, just the name of the folder. So if I list the file and I want to move, for example, one, we already copied that. So if I wanna move test.txt to test2, so I named them in very bad way, so let's forget that for now. So if I want to move the test.txt file into the test2 folder, as we see, we don't need to write all the file directory. So here, as we see, we write the specific file location. So as I say, if these two files are inside the same folder, we don't need to type the specific file directories. So if I press enter now and list the content, as we see, test.txt is now moved inside test2 folder. So if I list test2 folder, the test.txt is inside folder now. So this is the list ls command and no, this is our mb command and cp command, move command and copy command. So now let's see rm command. So if I list the file again and I want to remove, for example, one.txt, so I just type rm one.txt. If I press enter, this will remove it. So yes. So why it asks me remove regular empty file? So these are the shoring command that ensure if you want to remove this file or not. So for example, let's touch another file. So text, and for example, if I want to remove this file that I touched it now, without ask me the ensuring command, let's say that. So I type rm dot r and we then type 3.txt text. Oops, no, it's rf, yes, rmrf. This will remove it without ask you. So not just r, it's rf. So if I list it again, let's clear the screen. If I list it again, so we have test2 folder now. The folder is more complicated than the regular file. So if you have a folder, for example, let's list test2. So inside the test2 folder we have a bunch of files, 2txt and 1 jpeg file. So if I want to remove the test2 file within the contained file, like these 3 files, we can type the same command. So let's clear the screen. So rm./rf test2 file. So this command will remove the test2 folders and the file inside it. So if I press enter, it will remove all the folders. So if I list it, we will not see anything. So the basic difference between using graphical user interface and command line in removing and moving stuff, or especially in removing, is in the command line, if you remove something, this is permanently removed. So you can't like store the folder, restore the folder, or find it in a trash or something like that. If you remove it, that's mean you remove it. You can never find it again. So this is why the command line is more powerful than GUI or graphical user interface. Okay, before moving to our next topic, I want to say something, that the main operating system on this machine is Windows, and I'm using Linux via SSH protocol. So you can think of I'm using Linux. You can think like I'm using Linux, not the main operating system. So this is Linux, or let's say everything in Linux is a file. So the kernel is file, the hard disk and driver is file. So everything in Linux system is file. You can think like that. So if everything is file, that means we need permission. Who can access this file and who cannot? So the permission in Linux system. The permission in Linux operating system is easy to understand. So let's say that let's touch some file. Let's say PDF on OneNote. So let's list the folders now. So if I wanted to list the permission, the folder permission inside this folder, I will type ls/l. So here we have one.pgp file, and these are the permissions. So let's explain. So let's speak more about permission. Okay, so in the permission we have 3 letters, X and W and R. So X for execution, and W for write, and R for read. So every letters in these 3 letters have a number that represent this letter. So for example, executions have number 1, and write have number 2, and read have number 4. So when we say these users have, for example, 3, the users have the number 3, this means that the user have execution and write permission. And if we say like 5, this means execution and read. So as we say 1 for execution, 2 for write, and 3 for read. So we can add them to get the result. So 1 plus 4 is 5. 1 plus 4 mean execution plus read. 6 is read and write. So 7 is all of them. Let's think, you can think of this when we give a permission to a specific folder, we give it 3 numbers. So the first number for the user, the current user that using the bash. The second is the group, and the third is everything, every other user or group. So we can represent this by O or others. So as we see here, 4 for read and 2 for write and 0 for nothing. So here, as I say, three numbers like you type them like this. The first one for owner or user, the second one for group, and the third one for the others, every users outside the group. So here the group mean the user group, not others group. Other groups is inside the last number. So yeah, so let's change some permissions. So for example, I wanted to change 1.txt. So 1.txt, the user have read and write, and the groups has read permission, and the others also have read permission. So you wonder where the execution command. So the execution command is only for like executable file. If I create executable file, for example, this is executable file. So we see that executable file, and if we list the prompt, this is executable file. So if I wanted to give sh.sh bash file the executable executable permission, I can type chmod plus x and type the folder name, so node.sh. And if we list the folder again, we can see that the user have execution permission rwx. X is for execute. So the user now have the execute, and also the group has the execute permission. So as we see, let's back to the number so it will be more easy to understand. So if we wanted to change the permission on for example 1.txt, so the txt has read and write, read. So I want to give all the permission possible to all the users and others and non-user. So chmod 777. So as we say, 7 is for all permission, 7 for user, 7 for user group, and 7 for other. 7 mean 1 plus 2 plus 4, 1 to 1.text. So let's list that again. So as we see, 1.text is now turn it to green like the executable file here. So the users have all permission, and also the group and others. So for example, let's change it again, chmod let's give the users all the permission and others just execution 1.txt lsl. So as we see, the users have all permissions and the others have just execution permission. So you can change the permission on the folders like this. Let's clear the screen and list it again with the permission. So now we can back to using letters. So if using numbers is more difficult, we can use the letters, for example chmod. So the users have short letter U, and the group has short letter G and others O. So we can specify which type that we want to give our permission. So for example, I want to give the user the following permission. So if I want to give the user permission, I type plus. If I want to get from user this permission, I can type minus. So let's take execution permission from the user in this file 1.txt. So user -1, this is execution from 1.txt folder file. So oops. So execution, we use letters here. So if I list the contents again, the 1.txt, the users now doesn't have the execution permission. So let's take the let's give the 1.pgp file the execution permission for the group. So chmod, the group, we want to give its execution permission to 1.pgp. So let's list the folder again. So as we say, the pgp folder, we give the execution permission to the group. This is what I want to explain today, and see you in my next video.